very much in favor of the counting of points.
Does it work for you? No.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to The Run Through, your favorite figure skating podcast where we talk about all the things that make us kiss, make us cry, and make us learn the lore of the men's event. I am Adam Rippon, and I am joined by Sarah Hughes, not the Olympic champion, no relation, and Ashley
None.
Wagner, yes, the figure skater.
No relation to the men's event. And barely a relation to figure skating.
Adam, I'm so excited for the lore episode because I know you have been researching a lot and watching a lot of programs to make sure you don't miss anything.
I've been wanting to make sure I haven't missed a single thing. And by I don't want to miss a thing, I mean I don't want to miss a thing that happened 35 years ago. I don't want to miss a thing that happened 40 years ago.
I'm so impressed with your dedication to your sport, your craft, your men. But also, how were you able to really decide who did you need to pay attention to and who was worth not skipping over? They don't skip over history, but, they might not get an honorable mention. How did you decide that?
Well, I think that what I decided was I wanted to keep it to your major storylines. And so I think the way that we're going to try to do this is so this is our first men's lore episode. And I am planning to take you from the mid to late 80s all the way through the 2002 Olympic Games in Salt Lake. So that'll be our first round. But that's a lot of Olympics to make it through. That's 84, 88, 92, 94, 98, 2002. So we're going to do your general and most important storylines, the biggest rivalries you need to know, the biggest upsets, the most surprising victories, the saddest disappointments. We're going to go through those. The feuds.
Well, Ashley, when Adam and I were talking about this, we were basically thinking, okay, probably what's most interesting to people right now is to hear about people who are still kind of in the ether of the sport.
Sure. So Battle of the Bryans immediately comes to mind.
Exactly.
Scott.
So that's kind of how we were thinking about it. Adam is running this episode, obviously, but we were talking about it and we just felt like, okay, maybe this person doesn't have to be as prominent in the story because they are not really involved in the sport anymore in the interest of time. So that I feel like is how, to answer your question, I think that's how kind of Adam was thinking about it a little bit. But obviously,
who shaped the sport but is still kind of involved.
Yeah,
in
who's still a character, because the point of the lore series is for everyone to feel like they know all the characters and all the lore when we get to the Milan Olympics.
Right. You want to know why you're going to the bar at Brian's lounge.
You need to know why you're going to the Boitano. How did I get to the Boitano lounge?
And what is Brian Orser doing down at the board?
Yes.
Right. Why isn't Brian Orser in the lounge?
In the lounge.
Yes.
Okay.
No, you need to know. And
Yeah.
I figured that, I think if you are a listener and you're having your non-skating friends listen to these lore episodes, I almost feel like, we are starting with the 80s, but I feel like this is for our listeners. I feel like we get warmed up into the lore, and if you're starting, you're going to want to know what's happening right now, and they might make their way backwards. So they might do this, if we do this in 2 or 3 parts.
They might want to know the current skaters more so that they're just ready to watch the Milan Olympics. Whereas,
and if they get really into it, then they'll start listening to the beginning. So
Okay.
this is really for...
This is for the figs heads.
Yeah, this is for the
dead
fig heads. Yes.
I'm nervous, and I think I'm really fully understanding the root of my nerves. And it's that I think that I'm going to get so invested in figure skating in a way that I never have before, and I'm really going to care, and I'm nervous about how I'm going to feel about that when I'm watching all these skaters at the Olympics.
You are going to learn a lot more.
It is famously harder and better to watch skating when you are invested in the people skating.
Mm-hmm.
I'm invested in the people, but now it's the story.
Now it's the process.
It's the process.
It's the due process.
Yes.
We don't have that in this country anymore, but we do have it on this podcast.
Yes.
Well, we had it in the 80s.
We did, yeah, which
So
is why
true.
we're starting there.
Okay, Adam. So if I understand right, you're going to start with the mid 80s.
I am. And so starting with the mid 80s, early 80s, I think that if you've never watched figure skating before, there might be a few names that you know. You might know the name Tara Lipinski, Michelle Kwan, Ashley Wagner, Sarah Hughes, Adam Rippon. Obviously, these are top of mind names that are just
Right.
kind of coming to me. But another name that you would know would be Scott Hamilton. Scott Hamilton, he really comes on the scene in the early 80s. He ends up being the 1984 Olympic champion. This is also like the real boom of like sports broadcasting. So Scott Hamilton is 5'3", 110 pounds. Remember that. You'll be quizzed on it later. So when Scott, why is Scott so famous? He's a huge performer. Like all the jumps that he does, like he speeds around the ice. He does these super clean jumps. It's like his skating is the epitome of what great men's skating in the 1980s is.
Well, and I feel like Scott's winning the Olympics was sort of the beginning of the heyday of figure skating being popular or becoming popular in the US.
Absolutely. Because like at this time, we're also having like different tours happening, and Scott Hamilton will go on to basically establish the Stars on Ice tour. So Stars on Ice is Scott Hamilton's baby. So he's
I actually
really
didn't know that.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that he established
You
Stars
didn't
on
know
Ice.
that either, Ashley?
No, I knew that.
She knew
I'm
that.
saying, yeah, dummy.
Okay, excuse me.
We're starting.
I'm not. That's the one and only time I'm going to be able to say that, Sarah, in
No.
my life.
Okay, that's cool. I didn't realize that.
So we're in the 1980s. Scott Hamilton is winning everything. He gets to the 1984 Olympics. He does win the Olympics, but there's this young Canadian skater named Brian Orser who he wins the free skate at the 1984 Olympics. And it does feel like, okay, Brian Orser is the new kid on the block. The first triple axels ever landed in the late 1970s, 1978. But we don't really see a man at the top, you know, doing a triple axel and ending up on a world's podium until Brian Orser. So now there's this new era. We're getting into like the next Olympic cycle. You know, Scott Hamilton, 1984 Olympic champion. We get into the next Olympic cycle. It really feels like, okay, Brian Orser is going to now be the next guy to take over for the next 4 years. If you want to compete against Brian Orser, you need a triple axel. This is like a completely different era of like technical men's skating.
Yeah, and if you're new here, a triple axel now is like in every
Compulsory.
single men's program, and it's mostly in there twice in a free skate. Like everyone who is even remotely close to the top has multiple triple axels in their programs.
Yes. Not to take away from the difficulty of it at all.
No, I'm not. I'm just trying to say like that
The
sport
culture of
has
the
come
sport.
a long way
Yes.
since this, but it's the triple axel is not as old as people might think.
Yes, exactly.
But
Yeah.
at the time, triple axel was the ticket item. Like that was going to be the make or break between who's on the podium and who's standing on top of the podium.
Not even. It was like you needed to land it. You needed, the most important thing was that you did a clean, beautiful program. And I think a little bit different of like what happens now is like you try to gain points.
Those were the days.
They
Those
really
were
were the
the
days.
days.
But after watching so many routines, my brain has like shifted. And I realized it shifted because I'd see somebody try a harder program and I'd be like, oh, well, that will end up on top because they were trying harder things. It
Yeah.
just will even out. But it's the clean program, the person who didn't try all of the things, the person who went out there and got the audience on their feet. And it's like, oh, wow, I've really been reprogrammed to like how I see what should end up on top. So if you're going to do it, you have to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And so it does, like I mentioned, Brian Orser feels like he's gonna take over. But he was just second in the 84 Olympics. He got second to Scott Hamilton at the 84 World Championships right after. So he's ready to go after these silver medals. We get to the next Worlds.
Scott retired after his Olympic.
Scott
medal,
is
right? Okay.
out. He's in his lawyer's office. I don't know if this is true. He's drafting up the paperwork to start Stars on Ice. He's renting the private plane.
Right. It's the LLC that's happening.
He's doing S. Hamilton LLC right now. Yeah.
Okay.
Now, back to yesteryear.
Brian.
So Brian does feel like he's going to take over, but he has he doesn't have an easy road to getting there. So we get into the next World Championships, 85 Worlds. There's this young Soviet skater. He has like this amazing performance. He swoops right in, and Brian, you can feel like Brian's like feeling this pressure. He's young. He's like 22, 23. So this young Soviet skater, Alexander Fadeev, he wins the next Worlds. And so it's like, okay, Brian, you're going to win the next one. But they get to the next World Championships. Fadeev is a mess. Brian isn't great. And there's this young American skater, Brian Boitano, who ends up winning the 1986 World Championships. And it's so shocking. It's so shocking even to like Brian Orser. So he's sitting in the kiss and cry. He skates like last at this World Championships. And he's sitting in the kiss and cry, and the camera's right in his face. And you can see him like look over to somebody, and he's like, second? And they're like, yes. And he's like, who won, Fadeev? And they're like, no, Boitano. And he's like, Boitano? Like, obviously,
oh my God,
surprised.
like shocked.
Yes.
Okay.
This is sort of like Brian Boitano was really not expected to be in the mix for this gold medal. He was not in the top 3 heading into this program, but he capitalized off of like, Fadeev was a mess. Like he's tried to add a second triple axel in. It was going so poorly that like in 2 minutes in, he tries to land a quadruple jump, which has never been landed before. Like,
he's just throwing crazy shit out there.
Yes.
Hoping something sticks.
And it's important that you know that he skates like if you threw a basketball and you just let it bounce around the court.
Okay. Yeah.
Like completely wild. Orser makes uncharacteristic mistakes. And so Brian Orser starts to get this nickname of Mr. Silver because he's getting all of these silver medals. So when
2 world silvers and they call him Mr. Silver?
well, 3 at this point.
Oh, it's his third. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's his 3rd world silver because 84.
Well, he also did he get Olympic silver? You're saying he got
Yes.
Olympic silver and he got 2 world silvers, right?
This is his 3rd world silver and
Oh,
his
and he has Olympic
second,
silver.
And he got the Olympic silver because he
Okay,
was
that is a lot of silvers. Like
That's a lot. Okay, Mr. Silver.
Yeah,
Silver
Mr.
spoons.
Silver.
He's one
Silver
of the silver
spoons.
spoons.
One of me. Got it.
so
He actually owns the LLC.
yeah, he's CFO.
Yeah.
And so, he has this title, Mr. Silver, and now we're heading into like pre-Olympic season. World Championships are in the US, but Brian Boitano still hasn't established himself as like the best skater on the scene.
Was it one of those where it just felt like right place, right time, right magic?
His first world title definitely is that because he's like he's more unrefined than Orser is.
Okay.
Orser really is more of like a total package at this time.
Mm-hmm.
His programs are more dynamic. He's connecting with the audience more. He just does feel like if they're to go head to head and they're both perfect, Orser should easily outdo Boitano at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So we got to the World Championships.
In what year?
1987. This is pre-Olympic.
So pre-Olympic year. Okay.
Yes. And so now it's important to know that Boitano is American, Orser is Canadian. The Olympics in 88 will be in Canada, in Orser's home country. The Worlds before this Olympics is in the United States, Boitano's home country.
Oh,
Okay.
Stakes
that's
are
good.
high.
High.
Stakes are
yeah.
high. Okay.
Boitano is known as like very reliable. He's barely going to make a mistake. He's usually solid as a rock. And he starts to add a few new things. This is where we see the Tano Lutz for the very first time, which is if you've ever seen a skater do a variation with their arms in like a jump where it's one arm in the air, that's called a Tano because Brian Boitano jumped in that position for the very first time.
Can we take a pause though? One arm is so hard.
Yeah. That's why no one had ever done it before.
Two arms is hard. Two arms is hard. Not to take anything away from the rip-on variation. Two arms is hard. But one arm?
Well, yeah, because it's your center of
You
gravity
need nothing,
is
right.
Yes.
You're just totally
to
off.
just put one up. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Well, not to get us off track, but the one arm and the two arm, like that, those variations, they were used as like jumping exercises because if you are off in the air or like, you over rotate or you're like pre-rotating, lifting a left arm in the air or a right arm in the air will like balance someone out. Lifting both arms in the air can balance somebody out and they can help somebody to find a rotation position. So these were used as exercises before they were used as variations. And they were used on singles and doubles. They weren't done on triples because the mentality was that it was too difficult to try it on these triple jumps. So seeing Boitano do this for the first time in that like 86, 87 season is like very impressive. And again, he is solid. He's solid as a rock. But we're starting to see like 2 triple axles in a program. It's never really been done where somebody's landed like 3 across a competition, like 1 in a short, 2 in a long. So we're still trying to push the technical boundaries.
Was Brian Boitano doing 2?
Boitano decides that he's going to try to up it. So he'll do 1 and he's going to try a quad toe, which he's landed in practice.
Okay.
So he goes out and he falls on the toe, but he's solid.
Shit.
He's solid, right?
And this is
Ashley's
short
upset.
program?
This is the free skate now.
This is the freeze. Okay. Oh my God.
Orser
so he
goes
falls on the
out.
quad and does everything else.
Yes. Solid triple
still.
axle.
Very Adam
gorgeous.
rip-on of him, actually.
He invented it.
That is
and I went
very
into
Adam.
his footsteps, as you'll learn in a later lore episode, I'm sure. And so he's trying to push the boundary of like, I think if I can do the quadruple thing, it will like push me over. Well, what happens is Orser goes out. He has like the performance probably of his career and 2 solid triple axles. Like he's phenomenal. And he wins the world title finally
Oh, I'm
In
happy
the
for
US.
him.
in the US.
Yeah.
Stick it.
And so this loss is the first time that Brian Boitano is like, okay, time to readjust the strategy. Maybe it's not about pushing the technical boundary. If right now I keep being called the like athletic one or the one who's just not as refined as Orser, I'm going to address this. He hires Sandra Bezic to do his Olympic programs, who she will become the it choreographer of the late 80s, early 90s. And the way that she puts a program together is so different from the way that we see programs in this era. I think when Sandra puts a program together, her vision is that she puts together an entire storyline and performance, and it's something that all goes together from the beginning to the end. And that's not really the mentality of these programs at the time. I think the programs at the time, the focus is to show the range that you have, and you have 4.5 minutes, you have 4 minutes to show your entire range. Watch me skate to this fast salsa music. Watch me skate slow to this beautiful piano, and watch me
That's
skate
why like
fast.
Tanya Harding's program cuts were all over the place.
Yeah, it's like a fever dream. It's like,
Yes.
Yeah.
how many
Oh,
songs
didn't
can I
realize
skate
that.
to in 4 minutes?
Yeah. Okay.
And it's honestly, it's quite like jarring to see these older programs, but when you see them, you realize, oh, they're trying to show like this is everything I can do. This is my whole I can skate to this tempo, this style, this everything, and I'm going to show you it all right here.
It's like your little sizzle reel.
Exactly.
Okay,
That's exactly
got it.
right. So it's like more about like I want to show the variations of my performance styles, whereas Sandra is now going, I'm going to put on the whole show for you.
That must have shocked the skating world.
It's shocking because also Brian Orser goes out there and he does a lot of hops and skips and jumps and leaps and stops and you know, it's very dynamic. And Boitano's Olympic program skates, it glides, it moves more.
What is he skating to?
So he's skating to some, you know, he's a soldier, which is
a soldier, right. Yeah.
Which is a very important character to be in the 90s and 80s as a men's skater. You have to be a soldier. And
yes,
there is
true.
no avoiding this draft.
Yeah. At the Olympics. The Olympic draft.
Yes. So we get to 88, and at this 88 games, Boitano, we're in the free skate now. Boitano is going to skate first, Orser's last. So Boitano goes out and he has...
Wait, why is Boitano skating first? Did they just do the order differently
he's
then?
skating before Orser.
I
like
see.
first
Okay,
of the two of them.
Yes.
Got it. Yeah.
Ashley is hanging on every word I'm saying.
I know what happens, but I'm on the edge of my seat. Continue.
So again, Boitano took this different route and working with Sandra as a way to kind of like even the perceived gap between their like artistic abilities. He wanted to like get up to Orser. He wanted to be as competitive as possible. So he goes out, 2 triple axels, a triple. It's the performance of his life. It's amazing. He gets his scores, and at this time, like they're on the 6.0 scale. There is obviously room for Orser to...
Like they're leaving room.
He's 5'7", 5'8", some 5'9".
For the skate of his life?
Yes.
Well, they're in Canada, and the favorite is a Canadian who's about to go. I'm not surprised at all.
I'm annoyed. Oh my God. Okay, continue.
And at this time, we still believe that if they're both to be clean, Orser will go ahead.
One. Okay.
And that's just like how it is. Like if Orser's clean, he's the better of the two. This is like the perceived
and he's
vision
like
of this.
More established. He was on the last Olympic podium.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So Orser goes out and he starts like bang, bang, boom. Beautiful jumps, huge triple axel. And their mentality is that a clean skate will win. A clean Orser is on top. Don't make any mistakes. Don't try anything you don't have to. So he goes out and we're getting towards the end. He has a triple flip. He lands it on 2 feet, quickly steps out of it. Dick Button, he's one of the founding fathers of American skating.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a commentator for, several decades.
Yes. So he's commentating, and even Dick Button is saying over this program, I don't think that this is going to change much. I think he's still good.
About the flip that he landed on 2 feet. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And also meaning that Dick Button still feels that like this is still Orser's title at this point.
Yeah.
We get to a point in the program where at the Worlds the year before, Orser had done a triple axel. He decides to do a double axel at this point. And Dick Button says he has in the past done a triple axel here, but he's done a planned double. There's no deduction for that. Whatever. He finishes the program. It's fantastic. It's a very well thought out program. It's great. It's excellent skating. But there is just something about the moment that Brian Boitano is able to put together. So the scores come up, and the tech scores are lower than Boitano's, but the presentation scores come up, and they are higher, and he gets 6.0. So he gets a 6.0 from one of the judges, and it does, that kind of does skew you, and you're like, oh, he won. Then they go into the computer, and you see that Brian Boitano is still leading after Orser's scores come in.
Was it insanely close?
It was insanely close, yes.
Well, because it's the way that the 6.0 system worked is that there are 9 judges on the panel, and ultimately the judges are placing them in an order. right? And in this case, it was 5 judges placed Boitano in first, and 4 judges placed Orser in first.
A 5-4 split. It's juicy.
Okay.
And so
That's
back
so
in the day, back in the
good.
80s, when you were sitting in the kiss and cry, they would just turn the camera around and somebody would be right in their face with a microphone. Like there's still like heavy breathing from the program.
What do you mean back in the 80s? I did that a couple weeks ago.
But
yeah, it was you in the kiss and cry.
it was exactly like that. But it'd be like as
Okay.
soon as the marks were
But
over.
it's after you get your scores.
Yeah.
Well, and it was you. It would be you being on the national broadcast, like on the international feed,
Yes.
not just in arena.
Okay.
So first question they ask Orser, did you know you blew it when you fell out of the triple flip? And, the answers are short and he's like, no. And they're like, do you wish you did the second triple axel? Like, this is like seconds after. And he's like, hindsight's always 20/20, but we just thought like a clean program would come out on top. But I'll tell you, the nail in the coffin was not trying. If he had landed that clean triple flip, no step out, I easily think that he would have been the Olympic
It's
champion.
like either or, right? If he had done the
Yes.
second triple axel, or if he had done the flip clean, he probably wins. He just couldn't afford to do both of those things.
both mistakes. He could have one, but not both.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oof. The seconds after, where you're like, did you realize you lost the gold medal when you landed on 2 feet in that triple flip?
Bring it back. I love
Bring
that.
it back.
Crazy.
That is crazy. The athletes today could never.
No.
Well, it's funny. Adam and I were talking a little about this before we recorded, and I do feel like the standards for like what's expected of athletes in the media have changed so much since then.
Oh, that we're expected to treat them like human beings with thoughts and feelings?
Well, I actually was sort of feeling, maybe this is like a boomer take, but I think sometimes we walk on eggshells a lot
I
with
agree.
athletes.
I do.
And I think there's a balance of being respectful to them as human beings, like you're saying, and treating it like a real sport. And like figure skating, I feel like has maybe gone a little further in the direction of the eggshells, because if you watch like a football game, I mean, they get interviewed right away, you know, and that's sports, like,
Yeah.
and the like tennis players do that. Like, it's other sports have to do media right when they've just lost a lot of the time.
Yeah. I would love more immediate reactions.
Yeah.
I think that you get you get something more authentic and you have less time to polish something up with media training, and it's just more real. Okay, so Brian takes home the gold medal.
Mm-hmm.
Brian Orser is defeated.
Yes.
Mr. Silver yet again.
Yet again.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's tough because then we go to the 88 Worlds, which is right after the Olympics. Boitano on top again, Orser silver.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Damn,
tough.
that is rough. And he,
That's a
he
lot of
probably felt like
silver.
he rounded the corner in 87. He was like, I finally won the world title. Now I'm going to win the Olympics at home.
Even the interviews he's
crushing.
giving at the time are like, we're on track. We're right on
Yeah,
track.
I'm ready for my moment.
Yes.
Yeah. And again, if you're new here, Brian Orser went on to become one of the most successful coaches in the sport, and still is a coach in Toronto, who has coached some of the greatest skaters of all time. He coached Yuna Kim in the women's event. He coached Yuzuru Hanyu in the men's event, Javier Fernandez, who will make it into future lore episodes. I'm just trying to keep us connected to why people need to know these people. So Brian Orser becomes one of the greatest coaches in the sport. He still is. And Brian Boitano
becomes one of the greatest mixologists of the sport.
Yes.
And
he becomes a chef.
he becomes a chef, but a huge TV personality in the sport as well, and another big show performer, and is still
and he remains
deeply involved.
Very involved with U.S. figure skating, and is a huge ambassador for them and for the sport in general.
Yep.
And he has a lounge where he creates custom drinks at U.S. skating events.
And they are great.
And they are
Yes.
good drinks. Yeah.
They're good drinks.
But Brian decided to bring this lounge idea to the events as a way to like entice older skaters who have retired to come back to the events. So like as a way to like foster more community.
He was the first person I think I've ever heard go to US figure skating and be like, you need to give your national medalists of past free tickets to nationals, because before he advocated for that, we were paying our own way, or we would have to buy tickets to go watch the figure skating events, which I just think is kind of silly. So
I mean, at the very least, if you've won a U.S. title, you should
Right.
be
Get a
able to
credential.
go for free in
Yeah.
perpetuity,
Yeah.
I would think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the Battle of the Bryans.
That's the Battle of the Bryans. This is like the first major rivalry. Like you need
and this
to
is
know
getting
this
into
one.
like peak figure skating TV.
popular.
we're
fandom,
like we're
correct?
there. Like we're
Okay.
in peak
It's up
figure
there.
skating, because what we'll get into next is like now right after the 88 Olympics, there's this other young Canadian skater who seems ready and just waiting in the wings. His name is Kurt Browning. He lands the very first quadruple jump in competition at the 88 Worlds. And he
right
is dressed
after the Battle of the Bryans in Calgary.
Yes.
But is he's not really refined yet. He's like a young kid trying a quad for the first time,
Yes.
but not really known.
His mentality, they ask him about the quad, are you scared? He's like, no, I'm not scared, because I can just go into it as fast as I can, and I just give it my all. It's like a Friday night. You just give it your all.
Jesus
Good night.
Christ. I doubt that there's a lot of like rodeo people that listen to this, but if you've ever seen barrel racing, that's kind of what he skates like. Like just he goes 1,000,000 miles an hour. His feet are so fast. It's crazy. His jumps are huge.
And what you need to know about him is that like he oozes charisma.
He really
Ooze
does.
is it. Like you cannot take your eyes off him. But in this era, there's a lot of people who are going to be oozing charisma. And one of them is an American skater named Christoper Bowman.
Oh my God. Okay. Bowman the Showman.
Bowman the Showman. So like there are some young Americans on the scene trying to like step into the footsteps left behind by Brian Boitano. And there's Christoper Bowman. There's a young skater at the time called Todd Eldredge, who we'll get into a little later. And there's Paul Wylie. So Paul Wylie has all the potential in the world, but he really isn't able to kind of pull it all together. But he's a genius, right? So Paul is like in Harvard graduate. Like he's so genius.
Oh, I thought you meant like he was just amazing on the ice.
No, he's
smart.
literal genius.
Yeah, literal
Okay.
genius. And so Christoper Bowman the Showman. This is, I think, maybe the first time we see Frank Carroll, who is a famous American coach, one of the greatest American coaches of all time, coaches Christoper Bowman up to a point.
Oh,
And Frank Carroll is most famous for coaching.
Michelle Kwan.
Michelle
Quan.
Yeah.
Yes. And so throughout the lore, Frank Carroll does make a few cameos, features, because he's
Yeah.
coached a lot of skaters that we'll talk about.
He's the guy. He's the coach.
He is the guy. And so he coaches Christoper Bowman for like almost 20 years, and then it all comes to a head, and Frank Carroll fires him. So to give a little bit of background on Christoper Bowman, he does have sort of like a tragic ending. In 2008, he passes away from a drug overdose. And he struggled with like drug addiction throughout his like entire career. Like he admits that he went to rehab before the 88 Olympics. And he says that he went to rehab again after the 92 games. All of that aside, as a performer, he was like beloved. He would literally do anything to get people to watch him on the ice. And it's evident that like if he were to apply himself, he would be one of the greatest skaters of all time. Like, Christoper, please apply yourself. He's just so talented. Maybe one of the most
And when
talented.
you say apply himself, what do you like? What was the main issue?
Yes. When I say apply himself, I mean like to not be addicted to cocaine. And how do I know that? Well, so he leaves Frank Carroll and he starts skating with a famous Canadian coach and skater whose name is Tyler Cranston in Toronto.
Whoa, that's a name I haven't heard in a while.
Oh,
Yeah.
So Tyler gives an interview. This is the interview he gave before the World Championships, okay? He's like, if I knew what I know now, I would have never said yes to this. He later goes on and it's like, every night, sometimes Christoper wouldn't come to the rink for days at a time. I had drug dealers knocking at my door, asking for money, asking where Christoper is. He's like, it was a nightmare. And it was just like, Christoper was so erratic. But he's he's charismatic. Like, he's Bowman the showman. You can't help but love this guy.
Why is he a name that we need to know, though? Is he competitive, or is it just he's such a performer, but technically he doesn't deliver as much because he doesn't put in the time to train consistently? Like, what is it? Why is he relevant?
Even with all of these inconsistencies around him, he's on the world podium. He's second to Kurt Browning. He's third at the 1990 Worlds. He's a favorite for the podium in 91. This is when we see Todd Eldredge, who's 19 years old. He sneaks up onto the podium. And all the while, like, Paul Wylie is still in this mix. To go back to the Christoper Bowman of it all, like, he's the one who we think is going to rise to the top.
Rise to the occasion.
He's going to be the one who we think could be the most competitive. Actually, let's get to 1992. Kurt Browning is the obvious favorite. He's the 3-time world champion at this point. And there's a young Soviet skater who, this is around the time the Soviet Union falls apart. He'll skate for the unified team. His name is Viktor Petrenko. And he's in the wings. He's really trying to nip at the heels of Kurt Browning. He skates faster. He has this more like Russian ballet style. And in the early 90s, this is really the style that everybody will go. The international judges prefer this style. This is what's seen as artistic skating.
And what's Kurt Browning's style? How do you describe that?
Hands in his pockets.
Hands in his pocket. Like, his
It's
style
cheeky.
is like...
It's cheeky.
Cheeky. This will win over. Like, he will always win over because he's just that charismatic.
He's like a little character always.
Yes. And so what ends up happening is we get to the 92 games and Kurt Browning is not in his best shape. He's injured. He has an awful Olympics. 92 is like a disaster mess. Viktor Petrenko skates well enough to win the gold, but the performances of the night and probably of the entire event are Paul Wylie's. Now, Paul Wylie, like I said, he wasn't really able to pull it all together up until this point.
It was a little controversial that he was on the Olympic team too, wasn't it?
At this point, so like he's at the 92 Nationals, he doesn't fall, but there's another American skater who's like also it becomes like in the coaching mix later on. His name is Mark Mitchell. And so
Yes,
Todd Eldredge was on the world's podium in the lead up to the 92 games. He's injured. And so basically the worst place that Mark Mitchell could get would be third at Nationals because it would mean he's on the bubble. And
Right.
who are they going to put on the team? So Mark tries more things technically in his program, but Paul doesn't make any, like, and I say in quotes, mistakes. So the 92 Nationals results are Bowman, Wylie, Mitchell, and then Todd Eldredge is named to the team.
So Mark Mitchell gets pushed out.
Yes. But they give Mark Mitchell the world championships, not Paul Wylie. So Paul Wylie gets Olympic Games.
Mark Mitchell never goes to the Olympics, correct?
No.
Yeah.
Because a very similar thing will happen to him in 1994, where he'll
Right.
be the first alternate to the games.
Yeah.
And so
Brutal. That is brutal.
it's brutal. It's brutal. So Paul Wylie's on this Olympic team, and he has, like I said, performances of his fucking life. And other people are a mess. Everyone's a mess. Viktor Petrenko lands this big triple axel, triple toe. He skates into it maybe 500 miles an hour. It's enormous. It's huge. But he pops the second triple axel, which means he opens up and bails on the rotation, doesn't even do it. He opens up on the rotation of a triple flip. He opens up on the rotation of a triple loop. He just doesn't fall onto his ass.
I can't believe he won popping that many jumps.
So it was a dumpster fire skate and he won?
Oh, yes. He had this brilliant, like, short program. Short program is, like,
okay, and then
fantastic.
the free skate, he pops, like, 3 jumps, but he has this incredible triple axel?
Yes. And really, the focus is, like, he landed this triple axel, triple toe. This is the difference.
And that's a big deal.
Okay.
Yes. And I want you to know that Wylie is much better. Wylie is not, like, crystal clean perfect. He has, like, some 2-footed landing on a sow cow, does a double Lutz.
But the performances are...
Olympic.
Okay.
The performances are Olympic, but at this point, it's like, okay, pedigree. Victor Petrenko, and I say this in quotes, is the rightful winner. Like, if this were code of points, he easily is behind Wylie. But Wylie had never been better than 9th at a world championships before this.
Oh my God, and now he's
in the mix for a medal.
Podium?
Yeah, now it's controversial that he's not the winner. So it's absolutely shocking.
Meanwhile, where's Kurt? Kurt was just bad.
He was bad. He ends up 7th or 8th, right?
6th, yes. He ends up.
Okay,
he ends
so
up
he's
6th.
like he's off. Okay,
He's off the podium. Yes, just not have.
He just falls apart.
Yes. So now also Christoper Bowman, right? Paul Wylie. So they actually went to the Olympics together in '88, and they seethingly hate each other.
Oh, why?
So they're roommates.
They sound
in
like
88.
polar opposites.
Yeah, that's fair.
There's this like amazing interview where they interview each of them separately and they cut to one and then they cut to the other. And Christoper really is explaining this whole entire roommate situation through rose-colored glasses. And Paul is explaining it like he's on the stand in court. Like it's so different where, Christopher's like, yeah, like, the difference between us is he hung up his shirts and like I didn't. Like I had like piles of stuff like on the floor and whatever. And then they cut to Paul and he's like, Christoper would come back to the room late at night or sometimes early in the morning.
Yeah, give actual facts.
Yes.
Data points, all of that.
He's like, yes, there were mounds of clothes on the floor, but that was not the main difference between us.
Right. That's not the main takeaway, bro.
That's so funny. Okay. They're just they're not compatible people.
Paul sums it up kind of perfectly where he's like, all the mothers want me to meet their daughters, but all their daughters want to meet Christoper. So who's to say who's right? And it's like, that's them perfectly, where it's like, Chris is the bad boy. He's funny. He's lively.
Right.
But they want to meet Christoper.
Yeah.
So Paul gets a silver medal, which is a big surprise.
To
everyone.
Yes.
And that becomes the defining moment of his career. And Paul also, like Brian Boitano, is still very involved. We see him at events all the time.
Oh, yeah.
He
I see Paul all
is
the
a
time.
big ambassador for the sport also.
And a big smarty pants. A genius.
And
A
he's
genius.
a genius, Harvard grad. Defund Harvard, as some people say now. Defund them.
Some.
Yeah.
Not us, though.
No, we say fund them fully.
Fund them.
But this is a huge moment for Victor Petrenko. Like, he finally edges out Kurt Browning. He's the winner.
Big moment. Watching this, I'd be like, you had a bad free skate and Kurt wasn't even in full form.
That is the name
But a
of
win
sports.
is a win. A win is
a
the win.
win is a win. So Victor Petrenko finally gets that title he's been after.
Good for him. Congrats.
Now, this is like the landscape really changes for the skaters because after the 92 games, this is when it's decided that like the Olympics of the summer and the winter are going to alternate every 2 years. So now there's only 2 years between the 92 games and the next Olympics, which will now be in 94. So this changes.
Was a crazy idea, by the way.
A crazy idea.
Well, this is when it becomes the schedule that we're on now.
Yes.
Where they're alternating.
Mm-hmm.
Where it used to be that there was a winter games and a summer games in the same
year.
So actually, it was crazy what they were doing before.
Yeah. Okay.
Because, like in 1992, there was a Summer Olympics after all of what Adam just said, which, as someone who has worked on the Olympics, makes me feel
sick.
like
insane.
I'm going to pass out.
Yeah.
No,
So.
it is insane that it was that way.
Yeah.
But this changes a lot of things because that means that the season after this Olympics is the pre-Olympic season yet again.
Right. So they have to move up the originally planned 96 Winter Games to 94 to get on this new schedule.
Yes.
Okay.
So Kurt Browning should just stick around, right? Like, come on.
I
Kurt.
mean, if it's 2 years away.
Come on.
This was like the people who stuck around after Tokyo, the Summer Olympics, when it was postponed. It was only 3 years to Paris. Like, way more people stuck around for that.
So he's going to stick around. But there's another Canadian skater who's like up and coming. They actually train together. His name is Elvis Stojko.
Oh, I'm sitting here being like, the only name coming to mind is Patrick Chan, and it's not him.
He might not be born at this point.
That's
yet.
right. Elvis. Okay.
Yeah, so there's Elvis Stojko. And so, okay, it's like Canadian men ruling the world of men's figure skating in this era.
But never winning the Olympics.
So what ends up happening is 93 Worlds. Kurt decides that he's going to work with Sandra Bezic, who worked with Brian Boitano ahead of the 88 games. He's going to work with Sandra Bezic, and he skates this free skate, which is maybe one of the most like iconic men's free skates of all time, to Casablanca.
With like he's wearing the like white tuxedo suit.
Yes.
Okay.
And he has pockets, and pockets are like such
He
an
has
important.
pockets?
Oh, and he uses them as if
Hands
they are the
in
supporting
them, as if
actress.
they are functional. Okay.
It's hands are he is putting on the one man show of Casablanca. It's brilliant. Like the performance is brilliant. What can you fucking say? Like it's magical. And his hands are in his pockets. It's great. He pretends to smoke a cigarette. It's genius.
How daring.
How debonair.
Yeah, meanwhile,
I know,
Christopher
how
Bowman's
suave.
like, been there.
Christopher Bowman is smoking cigarettes.
Is smoking on the ice.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
Elvis Stojko, it's 93 Worlds. Kurt skates this charismatic program. It's phenomenal. Elvis skates this technically brilliant program, but it's Kurt who ends up on top again. But we head into the 94 games and it feels like, okay, it's either going to be Kurt or it's going to be Elvis.
What has Elvis been doing up to this point so that he's kind of a name in the mix? Because Kurt's coming into this, he's a 4-time world champion.
Yes. So at 92 Worlds, Elvis is third at Worlds. 93 Worlds, Elvis is second at Worlds.
So he's been on the last 2 world podiums.
Yes. And there are some people who might even think that he should have won the 93 world title because he was just perfect technically.
Yeah.
But you have recently watched these programs back, haven't you, Adam?
Yes.
Would you say that Kurt should have won 93 worlds like he did? You sound really high on the Casablanca program.
Yeah, it's the pockets.
It's the cigarette.
Being clean is the most important thing. Clean over everything. And Elvis is, but Elvis is like, his main focus is that like he's an athlete and he loves like martial arts and like all of this stuff. And he's like, I'm the focused athlete. I train crazy. I'm this, I'm that. Like, that's his focus. And it's like, okay, well, Kurt Browning just put on a one-man show of Casablanca. Like, you can't beat that.
Yeah.
Okay, so there are 2 schools of thought about these 2 Canadian men heading into the 94 Olympics.
Yes.
Which, to orient people timeline-wise, is the Tanya Harding, Nancy Kerrigan games as well.
Thank you.
This is like the same Olympic season when Nancy gets attacked.
Yes.
By Tanya's ex-husband's
bodyguard,
henchman
yes.
or whatever. So
that's where we
that
are.
will be in the women's lore, but I'm keeping us on
track.
parallel timelines.
Yes.
Nope. Just to kind of paint the picture of like Kurt Browning, there like skating became very popular in the late 80s. The Battle of the Bryans. In the parallel universe of the women's, this was Battle of the Carmens.
Yep.
And Kurt Browning is skating and winning world titles right after this. I mean, he's not to bat an eye at, a 4-time world champion. But in 1990, he's the Canadian male athlete of the year, beating out athletes like Wayne Gretzky. He's the highest paid amateur athlete in Canada in the late 80s and 90s.
He is the guy. He's
like
Canadian.
on multiple different commercials. He's doing commercials for Diet Coke. He's doing commercials for like other big Canadian brands. Like, he's the guy. He's who you see. Like he is a big deal. And he's even criticized for like by some people of like he focuses too much on the business side of things. That like, you know, he's making 6 figures, which is like unbelievable at this time. And so it's
especially as an amateur athlete.
And so people criticize him for focusing or leaning into that. Because, you know, he's not perfect and he's not like winning everything, but he's showing up at the World Championships always. And so that's his thing, that he'll show up when the moment is like right.
Wait, so are people complaining because he's like not doing Grand Prix?
People are complaining because they love to complain about everything. This will be a constant throughout the lore series that people will complain. And it'll be a constant throughout all of history.
And actually, I do feel like throughout the lore, like a lot of the most heated fan animosity is in the men's event. Is like centered around men.
Yes.
Which we'll see later on. But like, yeah, so probably it's a lot of people who already think Elvis should have won Worlds.
And now there's something to point to.
Yeah.
Yes.
Someone's making money. Go get your
Well,
bag,
because Elvis's
Kurt.
whole
You're
thing
good.
is like, I'm going to train harder. It's very Rocky.
Right. It's very Rocky. Like, I'm doing everything. There's not an ounce of energy left at the end of the day that I haven't used up to train.
Exactly.
Meanwhile, Kurt is like,
I'm giving it my all on a Friday night.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So on the outskirts of this, we at the 93 Worlds see this young Russian skater named Alexei Romanov, who has this like very Bolshoi ballet style, avant-garde.
I love that style, by the way. I still love it.
It feels like it's going to come down to Browning versus Stojko at the 94 Olympics. But this is the first time we see the very famous Russian coach, Alexei Mishin, who we will get to him a little bit later. He's like a mad scientist.
But he's coaching Urmanov at this point?
Yes.
Okay.
And we get to the 94 games. And here's the thing. Elvis is known as this like athlete and that he's not the artist and he's not the performer. But he comes into the 94 Olympics with this program. The theme of the program is like martial arts. And if you ask me,
What this man in martial arts?
Oh my
it's
God.
So
you know what this
straight.
is making me think of?
Tell
Do
me.
you remember this is a crazy thing for me to say. Do you remember that Russian pair team from like 6 years ago, Zabiako and what was her partner's last name? And they did that medieval program where they did sword fighting in the middle.
Yes.
Choreography. That is what I'm thinking of right now. Please continue. Martial arts themed
now,
program.
but I need you to know that I believe now that, and I believe that, well, I want you to know that in 94, I was 5 years old. So I didn't really have a firm opinion on what was happening. I wasn't even watching this. Sorry. I think this program that Elvis does, the theme is like martial arts, is artistically brilliant because
it is martial arts.
is. And he's bought into this process so much and he believes in the choreography he's doing so deeply. I find it so emotional and find it so incredible. This is like a required watching video.
Which martial art did he choose to go with?
Martial law.
Well, and it sounds like he leaned into what was already kind of his style.
Absolutely.
So he found something that suited him perfectly artistically.
Smart.
But at this time, it's not perceived that way. It's perceived as like, oh, he's doing his style. Like he's leaning into his style. He's
like he has no range.
Yes, because
basically.
Artistic skating means Kurt Browning or it means Victor Petrenko. That's kind of what the school...
Like the ballet.
Yes, you're either a ham or you're a ballet dancer. Like those are the only
Right.
two things. There's nothing in between.
Either ham or a hum.
Exactly. Which I think is really unfair to this like Elvis Stojko program because
Who's
this
existing in the middle.
it's God, if you watch it, it's like it's like completely on theme. It's magic. But at the time it's not seen that way. So Kurt Browning has another rough Olympics. And
God damn it, Kurt.
Wow,
And-
he cannot catch a break.
no, he is off of this podium as well. He can't catch a break at the Olympic Games.
Okay, and Elvis skates well,
Elvis skates very well.
but he doesn't win.
Alexei Romanov also skates really well. And it's Alexei Romanov has like another year to improve, and he's seen as like the more artistic, full packaged skater.
So basically, it's like, had Kurt Browning, I mean, you tell me if I'm understanding you right. Had Kurt Browning skated well, it was his to lose.
Yes.
But because he did not, they had two skaters who both skated well, and one skated this athletic martial arts style program that people didn't like as much as the Soviet balletic style that Urmanov did.
Yes, that is
And
correct.
where is this Olympics?
1994, Lillehammer.
Lillehammer.
Mm-hmm.
And so Urmanov, very surprisingly, wins this Olympic title.
And Canada loses again.
Yes. And so this is where we start to think, okay, maybe Mr. Silver, Brian Orser, maybe this wasn't his fault. Maybe this was, dun, 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 the Canadian curse put on men's figure skating. Because now this is like 88, 92, 94.
They've had the favorite 3 games in a row and not one.
Yes. So it's like, what?
And we do know that happens again much later in the future as well.
Yes. Well, not even that much later, because it'll happen again in 98.
Okay, so are we going to 98 now?
Yes, we're going to go to 98. But first, we get to 94 Worlds. This is where like we see the best version of that Elvis Stojko program. And he wins the world title. He wins his first world title in 94. This is the one you need to watch. It's phenomenal. It's phenomenal.
Okay. So he loses the Olympics and then he wins the world title a month later in the same season.
Yes. And on this Olympic podium, there is a French skater. His name is Philippe Candeloro. Who,
my Nana's favorite skater.
well, he's truly looks like he learned how to skate by reading a book. Like the way he skates around is crazy. This is the most bow-legged skater I've ever seen, but he's putting on telenovelas. Like
it's so true. Anyone who wants, if you know nothing about skating and you've heard all of these names, I'm going to tell you as someone who is only invested in the skating that I'm actually interested in seeing, you should go watch Kurt Browning's Casanova program. You should...
Casanova.
Sorry, Casanova.
He is a Casanova.
Telenovela is in my head.
He's Casanova.
He's
the
Casanova.
program is Casablanca.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but you have to... I don't care about Philippe Candeloro's competitive skating in the slightest. You need to find something where there are no lights on the ice. It's pitch black. It's a show program. He is going to be topless and ripping off his shirt and humping people on the side of the ice. Not super
It was the
consensual,
late
but
90s.
It was the late 90s, and the grannies in the front row.
That's so,
fucking
oh my God,
loved
Ashley,
it.
I forgot that he would always find an older woman on the ice and like dental floss.
Strip for her.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, lap dance.
I'm not kidding when I say he was my Nana's favorite skater.
No, he was like dad bod. Like it's crazy. Like he's an Olympic athlete. And it's like, this is the first version of a dad bod I had ever seen. Because he's addicted to taking his shirt off.
That's all he wants to do. Yeah, but just go watch him skate in a show. It's hilarious. It's a good watch.
But he's famous for these, like in 94, he skates this Godfather program. And it's like over the top, like it's completely French nonsense. It's amazing. It's phenomenal.
It's French-Italian.
French-American Italian.
Right, French-American. French, what is it, Jersey? French, Jersey, Italian.
Yeah, French, New Jersey, Italian.
And he'll do the same thing in 1998. He skates to the Three Musketeers, and he has a sword fight in the middle. Like he is made for the Olympics.
Yes.
He's made for competing for like people who've never watched it before. They eat him up. He's phenomenal. He gets 2 Olympic bronze medalists. Famous French skater. Gotta know him. Shirt always off.
Okay, so he gets bronze in 94 and he gets bronze again in 98.
Yes. So you might be asking, okay, now it feels like Elvis is going to take over because Urmanov is like, he's won, but he's also sort of like in and out of the mix now because he is going to retire. But where did Todd Eldredge go? Like he was just on the world's podium in 91, and then we don't see him in the mix in this 94 games.
Right, so he went to the 92 games. He was the reason Mark Mitchell didn't make it, was his petition from injury, right?
Yes.
Okay, so Todd goes to the 92 games. Does he go to 94 also?
No, Todd does not make that team.
So Todd goes to the 92 Olympics and then does not make the 94 team.
Yes. But
Okay.
then he gets back into form and he's back on the podium in 95. But the way Todd's packaging...
The world podium or the national
The
podium?
world's podium. So he's back
Okay.
on the world's podium in 95. He's back in the mix. And now it's like, okay, now we have like, this is our American man in the mix right now.
Okay.
And Elvis he's starting to land the quad more consistently, like in his programs. And we get to the 95 Worlds. Todd Eldredge is the silver medalist. We get to 96 Worlds. Elvis Stojko makes a big mistake in the short program. He finds himself in 7th. And this is like an open door for Todd Eldredge to come in and win the world title. Todd Eldredge at the 1996 Nationals has just lost the title to Rudy Galindo. Now, we need to talk about Rudy for a second. Now, Rudy Galindo is a 2-time national champion in pairs with Christy Yamaguchi. Christy decides in 1990, after they win their second title, that she's going to focus on singles, which ends up being a good idea.
Did work out well for her.
Yeah, which was
Yes.
good planning.
Good call.
But this leaves Rudy kind of like, okay, what am I going to do? And so from 1990 to like the 1995-1996 season, Rudy goes through a lot of like personal heartbreak. He loses 2 coaches who pass away from complications with AIDS. His father passes away. He decides that like, you know what? I'm going to skate this Nationals in 1996 because it's in San Jose. He's from San Jose. His mother doesn't travel. And he's going to skate because his mom can come to the event. Well, he prepares and he gets ready and he's just skating like lights out in practice. Like everybody is talking about, have you seen Rudy skating? Like it's unbelievable. And he goes out in the free skate at the 1996 U.S. Nationals and he has the performance of his life and one of the greatest performances in like figure skating history. Like just the roof would explode off of this building if it could. He has this undeniable moment and it's just beautiful because everybody knows everything that he's gone through. And he wins the national title. Like it's unbelievable what happened. So he goes to the World Championships and he has another phenomenal skate and he'll find himself on the world's podium in 1996. He gets the world bronze medal.
So there's 2 American men on the 96 world podium.
Yes.
Todd Eldredge wins and Rudy gets 3rd. And this is in the middle of an Olympic quad, right? There's no Olympics in 96. There's an Olympics coming in 98.
Exactly. So Elvis Stojko has this phenomenal performance. He lands a quadruple toe, double toe. This is the first like clean quadruple combination jump ever landed in competition in his free skate. Like he skates amazing and he pulls up from 7th all the way up to 2nd place. But Todd Eldredge has the performance of his life and he becomes the 1996 world champion. And he has like a style that's perceived to be like more artistic than Elvis.
It's very classic.
It's very classic. It's very clean. He has very strong spins. And so like right now it does feel like Todd feels like his strategy is like, if I'm clean, I'm going to focus on what I can do. And that might be able to edge out Elvis Stojko, who's still not perceived as like an artist. Like he is really perceived to like beat to his own drum. Before we move on from 1996 Worlds, there's an iconic moment of Todd Eldredge winning this world title. And now the iconic moment is he wins the world title. He's given the gold medal. The first thing he does as soon as he gets off of the podium is he finds his mom. He takes the medal off his neck and he puts it on his mom.
That's very sweet.
It's very
that's
sweet.
nice.
And it's like a real iconic moment that like I remember in the 90s that like anytime there was like a fluff piece or anything on Todd Eldredge, they show this moment.
That's really cool. Wait, okay, so the podium was Todd Eldredge.
Elvis in 2nd and Rudy Galindo in 3rd.
Yes.
What happened to Urmanov?
He's kind of retiring. Like he's kind of falling.
He's on his way out.
Yes. And
Wait, is he coaches Michael Scheideroff now?
Yes,
Yes.
he does.
Okay.
The current world silver medalist, if you're keeping up with us.
And so the really interesting thing about Alexei Urmanov is that like he was on the world's podium heading into the 94 games, not really a favorite to win. And it is very reminiscent, almost eerily similar to a current situation in men's figure skating where Alexei Urmanov is coaching the reigning world silver medalist against the very heavy favorite for gold, who is American Ilia Malinin. But Mikhail Shidorov has had this very wildly like upward trajectory.
Like Armanov did.
Okay, so
Exactly.
it's like shadowing.
Could be deja vu.
Absolutely.
That's cool. I'm liking this lower section because I mean we were talking off of our recording, but it's like this section of the lore, they're the coaches of the current skaters.
Yes.
Yes.
So you're really getting the background of who's molding our current skaters and what made them the people that they are in their own experiences. So that's really cool to hear.
So going into 98 in Nagano, is Todd the favorite or is Elvis the favorite?
Elvis is the favorite.
It's Todd's
Like,
mom.
Todd's mom.
Todd's
is the
mom.
favorite.
Todd's mom is the favorite.
Yeah.
Elvis is definitely the favorite for like the 98 gold medal. Todd is absolutely like in the mix. But, you know, like when we get to the 97 worlds, like Elvis wins that world title heading into the games. Like
Okay. So he's reigning world champion. Yeah.
he's
Okay.
reigning world champion. And, you know, he left the door open for Todd in 96. And Todd took advantage of that moment.
And by the way, if you at home like me don't have any recollection of men's figure skating in 1998, it's because Michelle Kwan and Tara Lipinski took up all the air of that Olympics in
Yeah,
a good way. But
But
that is all I remember from that game.
it's all I remember from that games.
Well, because that was a major rivalry. It was like, who's going to win, who's not going to win. And in the men's event, it really seemingly feels like there's a heavy favorite, but there's
not a
no
rivalry.
real rivalry. There's no battle of the Bryans. There's no can Kurt Browning win this gold medal finally. Like that storyline isn't really happening in the men's
The story
event
is
right
like
now.
it should be Elvis Stojko. Let's see.
Yes. And so there's this young Russian teenager on the scene. His name is Ilia Kulik. And he
I
is
love Ilya Kulik.
who doesn't? He's in what's that one movie about the dancers?
Oh, not center stage.
Center
Yeah,
Stage.
Center Stage.
Yes, he's in Center
yeah.
Stage as like some like hot ballet guy.
Yeah.
A
That's
hot
the lore
figure
that
skater
people are here for.
cosplaying as a hot ballet guy.
Hot ballet guy. Was
Yeah.
that English that I just said? Absolutely not.
Hit ballet guy.
It was Russian. And that's important to know in the late 90s is Russian.
Yeah, Russia is back. The Soviet Union and the unified team are gone, and Russia is real again.
Russia is so real, by the way. So to put a bow on Rudy Galindo, after he wins this 96 title and he gets the bronze medal at the World Championships, he is the first openly gay man to win the U.S. Championships. He retires after this world moment, after this like whirlwind kind of 2 months of his career. And he goes on to have this incredibly successful professional skating career. It's
That's
perfect
so
timing for
gay.
him to end, and it's so gay, and it's so right.
gay. It's so gay to be successful.
Absolutely, yes.
The gayest thing a man can do.
Is be successful.
Yes,
It's-
absolutely.
oh my God. Homo.
Gay.
Gay.
Now, we get to 98. Elvis is injured, and he's not sharing that with the media, but he has a really bad groin injury.
Oh no.
Yes.
The Canadian curse strikes again.
The Canadian curse strikes again. So that being
Something
said,
to do with what did Kurt say? Friday nights?
yeah, giving
Give
it
it
all
your
on your
all.
Friday night.
Giving it your all on a Friday night.
That being said, Elvis isn't able to do the quadruple toe loop in his program. He's still not seen as this like artist. That being said, the programs are good. Like the programs are good. He's just like this style is not being appreciated.
Is he doing karate again?
He goes back to like a karate themed program, and this is like the third
he really
different
did.
color
He did
of
two karate
Did he
themed
really?
programs at the Olympics.
Oh, absolutely. Like the one in Lillehammer is the best version. It's like his most iconic, best program. And
Okay.
then he
Black
goes
belt.
to a version of this
yellow belt.
Yeah. Well, he has like different colors of the same costume. Like I was watching and he had, and it's like, a shirt, pants, and there's like basically the black belts. And he's like, does a version of this costume at least 3 times. I saw 3 different colors, same silhouette.
Okay. Well, he knows what works for him.
Now, that all being said, the injury, he doesn't do the quad, but he does a great triple toe and he skates. He cannot do anything more. He gives it his all. He steps up to the plate.
Mm-hmm.
But it's all about the timing. There's this young skater, Ilia Kulik, who is skating with this coach named Tatiana Tarasova.
Heard of her.
Who she will go
Heard
on
of her.
to be the most decorated coach of all time in figure skating.
And is still like a huge personality in Russian skating to this day, even as the Russians are banned. Like, she is the one who gives a quote about everything. She'll talk to any media outlet,
thoughts
anytime, any place, and she's like brutally honest.
I kind of I don't agree with all of her hot takes, but I do kind of appreciate her voice.
I like that she has hot takes.
Yes.
I like that she has hot takes.
Her hot takes are all over the place too. They're
All
pro-Russian.
over. They're not always
Sometimes
so
they're not.
pro-Russian. Sometimes, yeah, and that's what I like. Because then I'm like, I trust your hot takes.
So the thing about her is that she's really known as like a choreographer and dance coach at this time.
What is her background?
Her background is like in pairs in dance. Like she doesn't have a background in singles.
Okay.
So Ilia Kulik it was from this like very big technical Russian coach, and he leaves this coach to be kind of repackaged by Tatiana Tarasova. And she's known for being like super creative, for putting together like really avant-garde skaters and programs, and she does exactly that with Ilia Kulik.
Ilia Kulik, by the way, has some of the nicest jumps I've ever seen.
They are exquisite.
He like floats.
Yes, and like it truly, that is the greatest way to describe the jumps, is like they float from the ceiling down to the ground. Mm-hmm. And this program that he skates, the free skate in Nagano, is exactly that. Like, not a step wrong. He opens with this enormous quadruple toe. He goes on to follow it with this beautiful triple axel, triple toe. It's phenomenal. And the program is weird and it's interesting, and the costume is ugly, but you can't forget it. And it's the second time we have a Russian out of nowhere who really wasn't a favorite for gold step up at an Olympic Games, wins the title. This leads us into probably the next greatest rivalry in men's skating, because right behind
excited
Kulik,
about this one.
Oh, this is going to be great.
Wait, so sorry, just to tie up Nagano with a bow, the medalists are Ilia Kulik with gold, who gets
Elvis
silver and
Stojko.
bronze. Elvis.
And Philippe Candeloro doing
you
the
said
Three
that.
Musketeers.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
No nipples present
Until the exhibition.
exhibition.
Yes, absolutely. Like we've mentioned, is addicted to taking his shirt off.
Feeling the wind in his tuft.
So now we get to the big rivalry, and there are 2 very young Russian teenagers. And their names are Alexei Yagudin and Evgeni Plushenko.
Let's go.
They are both coached
I'm getting excited.
by Alexei Mishin, who had just coached Alexei Urmanov to the Olympic gold medal in 1994.
Okay.
And these guys are like the new and improved Alexei Urmanov.
Ooh. Mishin's like honing in on his technique and his skills.
Yes. And so
Okay.
this is really when like Russian technique is like completely revolutionizing the sport.
Why don't you take a second to explain Russian technique really quickly for anyone listening at home that doesn't know what that means?
I was absolutely about to do that, Ashley. And I'm
I could
glad you're interested in it too.
I am, as someone taught by a Russian.
So in this era, let's go back to like the 60s really quick. The Soviets and the Russians are like not that competitive on the world stage in the singles events. And so right now there are like schools of like, they're trying to throw everything out there. My very first coach, she was a Russian woman, and she was telling me about this. And she's trained, and Alexei Mishin was trained by this coach, and his name was Igor Moskvin. And what they were doing was they were trying to catch up. So they would watch footage of the dick buttons, and they would watch footage of these great like American champions and North American champions and try to figure out, how do we compete? And so Igor Moskvin would tell one student, okay, you got to do this with your left arm. And then the next student would come over and he'd go, okay, now try this with your right arm. And so they were just throwing everything out there, seeing how they could quickly catch up to the rest of the world. And they were trying different things with the technique. So with the figures, which was when you needed to trace the patterning, my first coach told me that Igor Moskvin told her that he was going to dull her edges completely down so her blades were totally flat.
Mm-hmm.
And he was also, Alexei Mishin was a pair skater who skated with Tamara Moskvina.
I did not know that.
Yes. So they were pairs team.
Okay.
And so Moskvina is the female of Moskvin. So her coach, she marries her coach.
Yeah.
So, but they're a pair team. And Tamara Moskvina, Igor Moskvin, the coach, sharpened her skates so sharp that she only had one edge. So he was really like, everybody was a guinea pig.
What a blade looks like if you're looking at it on the ice. Imagine like the London Bridge. There's a post, then there's a half circle curve, and then there's a post. So you technically, if you're skating straight, you could have two parts of your blade on the ice. But that's how we get edges, is we have that hollow, and you get one side is your outside edge, one side's your inside edge. So sharpening it down to basically 1 point, so there's not even the two like edges.
Yes, so he would make that like bridge part, the hollow, so deep that they would basically come to a point and it would be like one. And then on another skater, he'd make it so hollow that there'd be no London Bridge.
Yeah.
So what I mean to say is they were experimenting with revolutionizing the way that they would teach technique. And Alexei Mishin would go on to write books about the biomechanics of figure skating. And so he was really into changing the way that like people did these jumps. And this was very evident because now we were seeing young Russian teenagers doing quadruple jumps, doing triple axels, skating more consistently than we had seen in the past. And this is like, you know, he's really revolutionizing technique, and he's really showcasing it with these two young skaters.
And the Russians took traditional North American and European skating, which up to that point had been really square. Like if you're walking down the street, your shoulders are naturally going to be kind of straight on, and that's square, and that's traditional North American. And he introduced the concept of more circular skating, which now, because we see it so often, it's like, yeah, duh, that's going to make you rotate faster, more efficiently. But this was like groundbreaking at the time.
It was.
Things more circular.
Yes. And it really what the Russians did is they brought it back to basics. And all of the jumps are basically figure patterns that people added a hop into the figure.
Yeah.
And they brought it back down to, oh, okay. Well, and then once the figures got taken out, people started skating more in like straight up and down. That was shoulders parallel, like you're saying, it became flatter. And the Russians brought it back to, like, let's utilize the curves in the way that like we would in the figure patterns. And they could see that it would like the blade would manipulate in a way and help skaters take off faster. And that's when all of that started to really be implemented into the technique.
Yeah.
So Alexei Mishin, he's the mad scientist and the teacher behind these two up and coming skaters, Yagudin, Plushenko. He is heavily favoring Plushenko. And Plushenko is like a savant, right? Like he's 15 years old on his first world podium. He's on the world podium in 1998, right after the games.
And it is far rarer in the men's event for someone that young to be able to make a world podium, even now. But it always was way, like, Tara Lipinski had just won the Olympics when she was 15 when this was happening. But like that was so much more common in the ladies event at that time and not the men's, because you like the men's is so much more like you need the big jumps, so you need your body to like develop like and get stronger, and
you look like a little boy. And a little boy is not a man. But there's something about Evgeni Plushenko where like he really, when you watch him perform, he's so unafraid. He's so, it's like, oh my God, rewatching these, I was like really taken back of like, it's unbelievable. I'm watching a 17-year-old. It's unbelievable. I'm watching, this cannot be a team. Like the level of performance is like
He's commanding.
He is commanding and demanding attention.
Yeah.
And in a way, you can see like, when Mishin is giving these interviews, he's like, yeah, Yagudin, whatever, but Plushenko is here. Give me a year with Plushenko and he's gonna be here. And this is like all too much for like Alexei Yagudin, because let's be honest, Mishin is pitting them against each other to get the best out of them, and he's creating a really hostile environment.
Ooh, okay, love that.
And so Yagudin needs to get out. He's like, I can't do this. This isn't healthy. I'm not being supported by my coach, and so I'm gonna leave, and I'm gonna skate with Tatiana Tarasova, who just coached Ilia Kulik to the 98 gold.
Right.
So this is how he sets his career in motion and gets himself kind of like the support he needs in his career.
What a pair of coaches to have, too, because Mishin is the same as Tarasova. Always talking to the media, always running his mouth with a hot take, like to this day.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing about Tarasova is that she's like not well respected by Mishin at this point, because she's an ice dance coach. What business does she have doing in the men's?
Well, she just won an Olympic title with one of her skaters, so...
And he sees this as she stole Ilia Kulik from his coach, and now she's taking all the credit.
Got it.
So he doesn't really respect her. She doesn't have any business in this. She's
Right, she
an
didn't
ice
earn
dancer. So this choice to go to Tarasova is really frowned upon by the Russian Federation, because it's hard to find ice in Russia right now. And Tarasova decided that she was going to train her skaters in Connecticut. So she's training in the United States.
That's how she got to the U.S.?
Yes.
This episode is mind-blowing. Okay. Oh my God.
So she's training
This
all
is
of her
so cool.
skaters in Simsbury, Connecticut. And that means
Wait,
that...
Adam, did you ever do the camps there?
No, I didn't. Did you?
I'm a Simsbury kid.
Wow.
Yeah,
So
I know.
you were coached by Tatiana Tarasova.
Essentially, yes.
Yes.
So Yagudin is in Simsbury.
And he will go on to never win another Russian title.
They kept it from him. The politics of it all, they're pushing him down.
They're not happy that Tarasova is in the U.S., and they're not happy that Yagudin is training in the U.S. They want...
And was he, I mean, arguably, was he skating well enough at Russian Nationals where he should have won?
He brings this up as like a point.
I see. So he thought he should be winning.
Yes.
Clearly.
I believe him.
And
Okay.
so, again, like Evgeni Plushenko is still young. So, and Yagudin has this great base. So
What's the age difference between them?
it's 3 years, 18, 15.
Okay.
This is to like Alexei's advantage. When we get to the 2000 European Championships, Plushenko is undeniable. This is like an iconic Evgeni Plushenko program. It's fantastic.
What is he skating to?
He's skating to some Russian bullshit. Russian folk music. And it's
Like,
like,
Russian
it's
bullshit is kind of
undeniable.
the Plushenko brand.
yes. And I
That's
say this
true.
as like, this is crowd killing. Like it,
Right. You're not saying it disrespectfully.
No,
You're
I'm
just
saying
he's like a
Russian
big
bullshit, and it
showman.
was incredible.
yes,
Yeah.
it's phenomenal. Like this is really, really good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And just so I'm clear, we're in the year 2000, and in the world of men's skating, these are the two. Like they're gonna be top two at everything, and it's just a matter of who wins on the day. Like everyone's kind of else has faded away.
Even at this point, we're almost waiting for Plushenko to take over. It's almost like Yagudin, your days are numbered. It almost feels like
And he
that.
barely even had a moment.
Absolutely, yes. Because Mishin is also pushing Plushenko like crazy. Like Tarasova and Mishin are both in the media like, no, I'm better, you're better, I'm better, I'm better. Like it's,
So it was also like a battle of the coaches. It wasn't even
Yeah.
just a battle of the
Yes.
Russian
Sure.
men.
But at this point, like Alexei Yagudin is still like the 2-time reigning champion heading into 2000. So he skates and makes some uncharacteristic mistakes. Like after Europeans, he changes his program and he gets this brand new program. And it's like basically it's like a last ditch effort to like, we got to rebuild this season because he loses the European title to Plushenko. He goes and it's not perfect. He falls on like the last jump. The door is open.
Yeah.
Okay.
He couldn't afford to make mistakes.
Well, this is Evgeni's real first chance at a world title. Like the door is open. He just beat Yagudin at Europeans and he goes out and opens the program with like now quads are really in the mix. Like you're going to need them if you're going to compete. So he goes, opens the program with a double toe, not a quadruple toe. Skates around, does a triple toe. Okay, skates around, he does the triple axel. He tries to add a quad in. Again, he comes down short and falls. This program is a disaster.
Uh-oh, okay.
He's off the podium.
No way.
So he is off the podium, and that podium is...
Who's even on that podium?
Alexei Yagudin, Elvis
He wins?
Stojko. Yes, Alexei Yagudin.
So Alexei Yagudin wins even though he made some mistakes.
Yes.
Okay.
And
I'm cheering for Alexei Yagudin right now. Is that like, am I
no, you're
I
right
think I
to
am
do
too.
like
good?
you're right to do that because it's like
Well, he's like sort of the underdog at this point
He's the
because
underdog.
the Federation has turned against him.
He's the political underdog
yes.
on top of the world podium.
And in our like men's mix, we have Michael Weiss, we have Todd Eldredge, and we have another young American skater like coming into the mix whose name is Timothy Gable.
Quad King.
Timothy Gable, when we get into the like pre-Olympic season 2001, we're heading there. Timothy Gable is the original quad king. He's the first
and that is
person
what he
to-
was called.
Yes, he's called the quad king. And he's the first person to, in an era where people were maybe doing 2 quadruple jumps, and sometimes you'd see Evgeni or Alexei take one out if they were feeling like they didn't need it. They were doing 1. Timothy Gable comes in and he's landing 3. Now, his style of skating is like very unrefined. Like he's not an artistic skater. He's not like he doesn't seem like in the mix. He needs these quads to be competitive because like his skating quality is like not up to the standard yet.
Right. Okay.
Who's coaching him?
So he's being coached when he's first fresh on the scene doing these 3 quads by Olympic champion Carol Heiss.
Oh.
So he's being coached by Carol Heiss. Now, he really does feel like he, again, needs to take the Brian Boitano school of thought of like, I need to be repackaged. Like the talk around me needs to be different. I need to be seen as like, I am addressing the artistic issue.
Yeah.
So he leaves Carol Heiss and he goes to skate with Frank Carroll,
Coach of Michelle Kwan.
The coach.
Now, Frank Carroll has like this long-standing relationship with choreographer Laurie Nickel, who is still very much in the zeitgeist today as one of the greatest figure skating choreographers like of all time. And in this time, Michelle Kwan is like her first like real big student. And Frank Carroll famously teaches Michelle Kwan up until 2001 and has a very long-standing relationship with Laurie Nickel. And so it's the first thing that he does with Timothy Gable of you're getting Laurie Nickel programs. So this is really what helps push Tim Gable like to the next level because he really does look like repackaged when we head into 2002. But Todd Eldredge is back into the mix too. So
Todd is back?
Todd is back, and he skates well enough to end up on the 2001 World's podium.
Good
Okay,
job,
so
Todd.
who is the 2001 pre-Olympic world podium?
This is where we love to give someone a narrative, right? And so we've given Evgeni Plushenko the narrative of when it counts, you're not going to do it. He had the door was wide open.
Right.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
So can he step up when when the time is right. And now he does in this 2001's Worlds. He does, I think, the most iconic Plushenko programs. Like, if you've never seen him before, you've got to watch these programs in the 2001 World Championships. They're the best Plushenko programs. The choreography is complete and utter fucking nonsense. But it's perfect.
Right.
He's rolling his hips. He's doing like smoking a cigarette in the middle. Like it doesn't make any sense, but you can't help but like smile. You can't help but like, oh my God, this kid is amazing.
Well, because he looks at you while he's doing it and he's like, you fucking love this.
And you're right. And you're like,
and then
I
you do.
Yeah, he has this sort of like contagious confidence in what he's doing that makes you love it.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's just fucking great. That's all I can say. Like, it's great. It's so weird, but it's so who he will become as like a person. And he's
actually really fun to watch as if you know nothing about skating, because you watch it and it's so unhinged that you don't have to know anything about skating to be like, this is insane.
Yes.
And I love it.
So now the difference between of like what's happening with Yagudin and Plushenko, like Plushenko's leaning into this like I'm cuckoo nuts. Like his short program is like he has a mesh cutout of like where his belly button shows and one knee is like mesh cut out and he wears like gold lame gloves. Like it's insane. And he has the craziest haircut I've like ever seen. Like,
what do you mean? It's just the haircut that like your mom, like it's a bowl cut. It's just like he put a bowl like, on top of his head.
It's short curtains in the front, long curtains in the back. Like it is the craziest thing I've ever seen before.
It's a Russian mullet.
Yes. It is insane. And he is loving every second of it. Like, and kind of by default, we are too. Also, this 2001's like, we've never seen jumps this effortless and this beautiful. These are the most beautiful jumps we've ever seen in like men's figure skating to this point. Like the Evgeni Plushenko perfect triple axel, the perfect triple loop, the perfect quad toe. Like these are the most beautiful jumps we've ever seen. Yagudin's jumps are like wild and big, but Evgeni's are perfect and technical and like they're just exquisite. And 2001 is where he steps up and he's the reigning world champion. Now
going into the 2002 Olympics.
This kind of throws Alexei Yagudin into like turmoil.
Like that, I do feel bad for him because it's kind of like it just takes one time and then it's done for him. That doesn't feel fair.
Right. But it is sports. So we head into the Olympic season, and the first event of the year is the Goodwill Games in Brisbane, Australia. Alexei is there. Sarah Hughes was there. Sarah Hughes on the podcast was at those Goodwill Games.
I was there. Yes.
Wait, you were there?
Yeah, I was there.
Mm-hmm.
Along with the other Sarah Hughes?
Was the other Sarah Hughes there?
She most likely was.
For the two of you to exist in the same place at the same time?
I definitely saw Michelle Kwan skate there. I saw Tanith and Ben skate there. They were there. No, yeah. I mean, I think a lot of like high profile skaters went to this event.
Oh, yes, they did.
Including
Everybody
you.
was there.
Including me.
Including Sarah Hughes,
skater.
no relation to the figure skating Sarah Hughes.
Yes.
So Alexei shows up first event of the year, and he's like drastically underweight. And he does this in an effort to be like, I'm gonna be the best I can. He's obviously like, he lost his mind. He's like 18 pounds lighter than he was at the World Championships before.
What?
Yes. And he's making tons of mistakes.
18 pounds in like what, 5 months or something?
Yes.
On what I imagine, like that's reasonable for some people, but what I imagine was already a thin body.
He was not in any state ready to lose 18 pounds, but he went on an all-apple diet, which is really not
what
recommended.
He did? All apples?
Yes.
Oh
Wait,
my
what?
God.
Yeah, an apple a day keeps the quads away and the doctor, but many apples a day keeps the titles away.
Are you being serious about his all apple diet?
Yeah, I knew that for a fact, yes. So just apples. So he skates so poorly at the Goodwill Games where he's like, no.
Yeah,
no.
because he hasn't had protein in 5 months.
Yeah, protein.
Or carbs.
It's just
Yeah.
fiber and sugar.
I guess there are probably like some carbs in an apple.
There are. Apples are not keto.
Okay. Good to know. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
He did not do keto.
No.
He's starving on apples.
Yes. So he gains the weight back because he's like, no, I approached this wrong. So he, regains momentum to the season. And in this
He
season,
starts eating
he has...
peanut butter with the apples.
Absolutely.
Some cheese.
In this Olympic season, he has probably two of the most iconic men's programs of all time. The short program is unbelievable. The free skate is unbelievable. And when it
The
comes
free
to
skate is Gladiator, right?
Man in the Iron Mask.
Oh. Did he do Gladiator? Or
Yes,
who am
he
I
did.
thinking of?
Yes,
He
he
also
also
did Gladiator.
does Gladiator. Yes.
Okay.
And the short program is so iconic. It's one of the most iconic short programs in
Is
figure
that the one
skating.
where he's wearing the colored blocks?
Yes. And he
Okay.
does this incredible step sequence, and it's phenomenal. It's the best 2000 skating ever. It's still holds up today as a fantastic program.
2000 men's skating, to me, if you were to sum it up in a statement, is footwork sequences.
Absolutely. And because this is such a heavy influence from Tatiana Tarasova, because she's from ice dance. So she really implements all these interesting toe steps and multiple twizzles
Well, yeah,
and turns.
no edges, but toes.
Many toes, mostly toes, actually. And that's she redefines what is a step sequence because, sometimes people skate really fast through them, and this became you needed to do these staccato movements and, interesting steps and turns. So these are amazing programs. Now, just to take it back for a second, Yagudin does need some help mentally, and this is where Tarasova is we are going to get a sports psychologist, and his name is Zaganov.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Now Mishin has something to say about this, and where he goes, only the weak need sports psychology.
This is something that Mishin would say today. He has not
Absolutely.
Yes.
evolved in the least in 25 years. He would say that right now.
So only the weak need it. Now, what he didn't know was that, what he did know, he's trying to distract because he does not like this Zaganov. Because Zaganov has a reputation of dealing with dark magic.
What?
I'm buying into this. Okay.
Now, Mishin is actually upset, a little bit scared, because he
I
thinks...
love the Russians buy in
Yes.
to magic.
Oh,
Well,
my
so
God. Yes.
Zaganov, Mishin has a firsthand account, he says, of knowing that Zaganov has powers.
That he can curse somebody or
Yes.
whatever. Okay.
Because he
Okay,
was at
yeah.
a camp once,
Uh-huh.
and Mishin's son was at the camp, and he had a fever and was not feeling well. And Zaganov
Okay.
said, I can help. And he said that he saw Zaganov go over to his son, wave his hands, and say a few words, and in 30 minutes, the fever broke.
What?
Uh-huh. And so he goes, I know that he has powers.
Do you think that the Russians kind of change or find the words powers and doping interchangeable?
I mean, he didn't dope up his son, so that sounds like powers to me.
No, he's
Okay.
saying magic.
Yeah.
We're directly translating it to he is magic. Zaganov is black magic.
Okay. I love
Okay.
it. He has powers.
So,
So he's worried because he's Zaganov not only is going to make him mentally stronger, but he's going to use his magic.
against Plushenko.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And so it's neck and neck. There is no favorite for gold. There is no
Right.
this
Right,
is the
because
heavily
Yagudin won the world title 3 years in a row from
Mhm.
98 to 2000, and then Plushenko just won it in 2001.
Yes, and
So
they've
they're-
been neck and neck all season.
it. Okay.
Yagudin edges him out at the Grand Prix final.
Oh, so
And-
Yagudin
Protein.
won the Grand Prix final in Olympic season.
Yes.
Okay, so
That's
he
a
is
good sign.
Okay.
Because let's go back to the styles for a second. Alexei has this avant-garde, over-the-top style, but there's a lot of world appeal to it. The Plushenko style is like crazy, cuckoo, like it doesn't make any sense. There's tons of mostly arm movements,
Yeah, less
whatever.
sophisticated.
It's less sophisticated.
Strictly.
It's just flashy. It's very effective.
Yes, it's flashy.
It's very flashy, but there's
It's like new money versus old money.
absolute yes, 100%. There's like
It's
lot
like
of heart.
New York City versus Miami.
couldn't taking the words out of my mouth.
Yeah.
Like Dick Button says that there's a lot of heart behind Yagudin skating, and there's a lot of like flash and glitter when it comes to the Plushenko style.
Right.
And with the international judging, the Yagudin wins out on this like artistic style. So we get to 2002 Olympics. Let's go right there.
Yeah.
Now, Evgeni's been skating this program. It's a Michael Jackson medley where it's like cut. Like the music is all over the motherfucking place.
Yeah.
And he's been skating in this head-to-toe gold lame outfit all
The
season.
man loves lame.
Well, he shows up to the Olympics and he's in a silver top. Okay.
That's a bad omen. Are you kidding me?
Why would you do that?
For as much as the Russians believe in magic,
Yes. Why would you
Silver?
why would you wear gold all year and change it to silver?
No. Yeah, that is
Telling.
asking for trouble.
It is.
Yeah.
It's begging for trouble.
yeah.
So we go to the short program, and Plushenko's been like solid as a rock. Like, you know, he has lost the Grand Prix final, but it was like he was solid.
He was still good.
He was still
Yeah.
very good. And he goes to the short program. First jump is the quadruple toe, triple toe combination. And he says that he stepped into the jump, and in the middle of the air, someone told him he saw the silhouette of Zagainov, the dark magic
There is
sorcerer.
not enough time. There's
And
not
he
enough
saw
time.
his silhouette on the side of the wall, and he said, in the middle of the air, somebody told him to open up early. And he lost control of his body, and he said, somebody told me. And Mishin, like still to this day, is like, Zagainov performed dark magic on Evgeni in the short program.
I love this. He did, though.
Absolutely, of course he did.
He definitely did. Did it work? Probably not, but
Well, my response to him would be he might have told you to open up, but you didn't have to listen.
He said
Yeah.
he had no control.
I also feel like so he was possessed
Yes, by
Zagainov.
Zagainov. Yes.
I mean, this is
It's incredible.
I do think like there's something to be said for if your coach is telling you that someone is going to curse you,
I know.
then eventually you're going to start to feel cursed.
Yes. No, absolutely. But, you know, this being said, Tarasova was like not loving Zagainov's involvement really because he was trying to like get her on the outs where like he wanted to be the only
so
one
she
who
brought
had
him in to be
Yes.
sports psychologist and he turned against her and was like trying to be the main guy for Yagudin.
Yes.
Okay.
The top wizard.
Absolutely. Yes, he's trying to be the top wizard.
The headmaster of Hogwarts.
Yes.
Does he have any skating background?
No, but he has
Unclear.
background. He has a very like checkered past and like goes on to be very like infamous in sports where like he gets into scandals with like other athletes he's involved with.
Okay.
Like it's very bad. But
Is it
Okay.
because of the powers? Or just because
Probably.
it's like more personality?
we will have to ask the
defects.
Magic Council if it is
Okay.
because of the powers. And we'll get them
See
on the
what Hogwarts
podcast.
has to say.
So Alexei goes and, you know, he still needs to skate and he skates like the best competition of his life. He skates one of the best like men's Olympic free skates of all time. It's phenomenal. Timothy Gable also skates unbelievably well. And Evgeni Plushenko, like he redeems himself in the free skate. And so the final result is Alexei Yagudin gold, Evgeni Plushenko silver, and Timothy Gable bronze. And what's really interesting is that like this is right immediately post 9/11. And so when Alexei is giving these interviews, let it be known that Mishin is trying to take credit for Alexei's gold medal of like, you know, I coached them both. And the first thing he's doing in the interview is like, this has nothing to do with Alexei Mishin. This is all Tatiana Tarasova. And I'm
Damn.
so
Good for
excited
him.
to, good for him. And I'm excited to like win this gold medal because this is where I live. And so
wow,
he's like almost
that's huge.
Yes. And like the response to him winning is it feels like a home gold medal. Like he does like he lives in the US. When they do profile pieces on him, like he's been living in New Jersey for the past few years. His home is everything is cheetah print. Like his bed sheets are cheetah print. He has got a cheetah print like
because he's so fast.
Because they're so fast, exactly.
Yeah.
And so he's like he recognizes that like
The
he lives
American dream.
and trains here, and even in his post skating interview, he's like, I won everything this year except the Russian national title.
Ooh,
and
wow,
and then
that's
he'll also
pointed.
because he wins the Grand Prix final, the Olympics, and he'll go on to win the World Championships in 2002 as well. And
and Plushenko gets silver
at the Olympic Games. He's not
Like
at
the
the
shirt
a
he was
2002.
silver
wearing.
top.
Like the shirt he was
silver?
wearing. That's why I bring it up. He was wearing
Why
the
would you
silver.
do that?
I know. Why would you wear gold all year? I'm assuming probably because he like lost the event and was like, no, I need to like change
Yeah.
it.
switch to silver.
That's
Right.
why you just don't wear gold or silver.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
Unless you're Alyssa Liu and you're coming back as a joke, and then
You
all of a sudden
accidentally-
you accidentally skate
And
so
then you wear
well that
gold
you
as
win.
a joke, but it's
Yes.
not a joke anymore.
Yeah.
Wait,
But-
so who got bronze in Salt Lake?
Timothy Gable. First time
Okay.
he's on like this
Quad
major
King.
podium.
Quad King with his
Quad
Lori
King.
Nickel programs.
Yes. And so to just button out this first part of the lore, Alexei Yagudin wins his 4th world title. Timothy Gable is on the world's podium for the first time in 2002, right after the Olympics with the silver medal. And Takeshi Honda from Japan is the bronze medalist at 2002 Worlds. It's the first time we see a Japanese man on the men's world podium since 1977, which is a great way to end this part.
Because that is foreshadowing, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
Did Plushenko not go to Worlds in 2002?
Yeah, he's not
Okay.
here. But he will be
Wow.
such a major part in our next
Yeah.
part of this
We are
men's
not
lore.
at
Yeah,
the end
he-
of the Plushenko story.
No.
Not even
Nowhere
close.
near.
The longevity of him, to like look back on it, it's like the longevity is absolutely utterly insane. So it's phenomenal.
Then I don't think we mentioned this though, and especially because this is our first lore episode, I do think we should say what year did IJS start?
It starts next. So like
Okay, so
yes.
this entire lore episode, and when we start with like anything pre like from Salt Lake City and before, that is all going to be what we kind of call the old system, the 6.0 system.
Mhm.
And then we're going to get into
Wait, so Torino is
next
the first
chapter.
games under IJS? Is that
Yes,
Mhm,
it is.
mhm.
right? Okay.
It's the first
so-
IJS.
Because was it the Paris scandal here that kind of led to
Yes,
the
Salt Lake
creation?
City was the pairs scandal. Yes.
Yes. So everything up to this point has used 6.0, and then the next couple of episodes in lore are going to be with what was called the new system, and people called it the new system for probably like a decade until finally people are like, it's kind of
I still think of it as the new system.
Me too. And if you start listening to this podcast, we also sometimes politic to bring it back. So
Yeah, it's so true.
yeah.
but like that's why it's the perfect to button out this first episode of the lore of like end at 2002. Like this is the end of like this original era of the skating. Like this is the end of the 6.0. We get into points, and it's really changes the game of like how you perceive a winner.
Adam, you did such an amazing job. I will say I definitely did not watch a ton of men's skating from this era all the way through. I'm a huge Yagudin fan as of right now.
As of right now, that's a good way to put it.
As of right
Yeah.
now is a good way to put it, because I don't,
It changes.
personality wise, I don't know
It
that
changes.
he aged the best.
No.
We might get to that in the next lore of where kind of this is sort of like a cliffhanger. He does go online and tell me to kill myself. So
Yeah.
stay tuned for that. That'll be really fun.
Yeah, this is a real. We've got some good cliffhangers here.
But you did such a good job at describing this in a way that was so entertaining. I didn't know there's not enough witchcraft in skating. I wish there was more.
We'll
There's
bring
not
it
enough
back.
witchcraft in life.
Yeah,
No.
that's so true, Sarah.
And for those of us who are like Ashley, which I am, who want to watch these programs, we're going to put some of the key ones. We're going to put links to them in the descriptions of all the lore episodes. Not every program we've talked about, obviously, but we'll put some of the key ones, and then you can click around and do more of your own watching.
And
you wish.
the only one that I can recommend is one of my favorite Philippe Candeloro programs. Actually, no, the other one that I would always recommend is a Kurt Browning exhibition program, because I know my exhibition programs to oh my god, it was the
Singing in the Rain? Is that Singing in the Rain?
No, it's Spanish, like flamenco maybe.
Oh, yes. Oh, Mission Impossible. Yes, I know exactly.
No,
Yes, it is.
no.
No, there's a flamenco. There's like a Spanish song in Mission Impossible. It's from the Mission Impossible. It's Naya is the name
Naya.
of the song.
Okay,
it's from
yes.
Mission Impossible 2.
Oh
yes.
my god, he is so. It feels weird saying this because I know him.
No, it's
but
sexy.
Like in this program, it's so sexy.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. So we'll put all
my
of that
God.
together, but we want to thank you. Welcome to the very first episode of Men's Lore from 1980s to 2002, and we'll see you in part 2.
In the early aughts,
In conclusion, Canada is cursed. The Canadian men are cursed.
witchcraft is real.
Witchcraft is real, and the Japanese men are coming.
And we'll see. Let's see what happens in part 2. Bye, everybody.
Bye.